welcome to my kitchen. It is week 4 of our low carb keto lifestyle change. Last week I had said that I was going to do snacks, and unfortunately, I'm sure you can hear it in my voice, I am sick. I've been sick all weekend. So being that I am sick, I just didn't have the energy to get all the snacks and everything that I love put together for you. But I thought this was a good opportunity because I know when I'm sick, I don't know about you, but when I'm sick, I want things to be fast and easy. I don't want heavy things weighing me down, and really what I want is soup. Well, unfortunately, if you look on the back of pretty much any soup, unless it's beef or chicken broth, there are tons of carbs. So I decided, well, I'm gonna make a low carb chicken noodle soup. And I decided I would share that recipe with you guys today instead of my snacks. I hope you forgive me. I just didn't have it in me. I have about this much energy today. I always like to give a weekly tip, something to either motivate you or something that'll make things easier for you. And I just want to say, if this is your first time joining me, I have put all my low carb recipes under a playlist, as well as tips and tricks to staying on low carb or keto. Start by saying the best thing you can do, and I do this regardless of whether I am testing out a product or if it's even when I'm doing a lookbook, I take pictures. I can't tell you how much pictures help. I'll give you, for instance, it has nothing to do with dieting. With the new face, I couldn't believe the change from when I first started using the new face to the 30-day mark. I was like, oh my gosh. I would not have probably been able to see that on a daily basis, but when you take a picture and you compare, just take pictures, lots of pictures, they're only for you. I use an app called MyFitnessPal. Now, I use that app because it was the one that my trainer at the gym used, and he could check you know, in with me, and we could be friends, and he could see what I was eating, and it's a great app. It's really not designed for carbs. So I went online and I wanted to find one that would really work for you guys. And honestly, Atkins has a great low carb app. That's what they're known for. So I went and I downloaded it today and I checked it out, and it has some of the same qualities as the MyFitnessPal, but it's designed specifically for carb. I want to show you how easy it is to use, because there's a little, because you're like, oh my god, I don't want to put every little thing. I know it can be time consuming, but there's a couple things that make this really nice. One is, first let me show you what it looks like. This is the app here. Okay, so we're just gonna click on it. It will ask you a few questions. You know, it's gonna ask your name, and if you're a male, female, what your height is, what your weight is. You need a measuring tape because it's going to ask you what your circumference of your waist is. That's never fun because that's my downside. And we want to pull up your food. It'll have breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And then under each of those, you can just click it open. And if you'll see, there's a button there that says scan. This is one of the wonderful things of technology. You'll hit scan. It'll ask you to have access to your camera. And then you see here, it has a little camera on it. You're gonna put the little barcode that you find on food, and you're gonna just center that, and it picked it up so fast, it's not even funny. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Carb Masters yogurt. It's amazing to me. Now, with everything, I always double check if it's the first time I'm scanning something and I'm like, Carb Masters, blackberry yogurt, 5 carbs. Well, there you go. If we want to add it, well, we have to click on it saying yes, that is indeed the right one. And then it'll say things like quantity. Maybe you've only eaten half of it. So if it's eggs, is it 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 eggs? And you're going to add the food, and then it adds it to your day. Now, if it's something you eat regularly, you could put check the little heart box, and that will add it to your favorites. So you don't have to continually scan new things. You could just look down and go, yeah, I had 2 eggs, spinach. That's what I used to do in MyFitnessPal. It has the same kind of app where it can scan. So that's really cool. Let's scan these eggs, because I don't feel like looking them up. There's 100 different eggs. This thing picks it up so good. Now in this case, it gave me a bunch of different egg choices. So it knows it's the Eggland best. So I have to go, okay, Eggland best, large eggs, correct. It really, for eggs it doesn't matter, because it's, if you look, carbs, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But let's pick the right one. See where it says quantity, you can change it to the amount of quantity. And there is a graph here that tracks your progress. So it'll give you a 7-day, you could do like 7 days, 30 days, 1 year. You put your goal weight in if that's what it is. The neat thing about this app also is that there are different programs. So for instance, I only have a few pounds that I want to actually lose. This is more of a lifestyle change for me, but I do have a few pounds. I think that if you're like if you want to lose less than 20 pounds, it'll let you have more carbs per day. This is after those first 2 weeks. Remember, we have to be very strict, under 20 carbs. This app is more for once you're through that 2-week period. So depending on where you are, how much weight you want to lose, what your height is, what your current weight is, it will actually tell you the amount of carbs that you should be trying to stay between. And I think mine said between 38 and 42. I stay probably closer to under 20 or 30, depending on the day. That's just me. That's how I like to be. And I get as much food as I want, I feel. Like I don't feel deprived in any way. That doesn't mean every day that I'm at 30. Maybe there are days where I'm, you know, more at 40. So that's what I would recommend. In just playing with this app for a very short time, I think that it's a really good one, and it'll help you see carbs and see that total, so you're not in your head going, Now, for my recipes, guys, I just want to say that always in the description box, and I'm getting better at this, you know, I'm just starting to put these recipes together for you guys, but in the description box will always be the recipe, so it'll have the ingredients and what to do with it, as well as you can watch the video as far as what I'm doing. I'm doing chicken noodle soup today for you guys. The biggest carb culprit in the soup is carrots. Are the carrots, but that's all right. You know, it is a vegetable. Yes, they have carbs. Okay, when you buy a bag of carrots, some are this big, some are this big, some are this thick, some are this small. So that's why I say, you know, I'm gonna take the average. Again, if you pull out a ladle or a cup of soup, gosh, there might be more carrots, and then there is chicken, and you know, so this is just know whatever I'm making, it is low carb. And I will give you tips to make it even low carb throughout the recipe if you want. Vegetables that we have to watch for. So there will be carbs and vegetables, but I have to, like when I use my Creole mix, I don't know how many peppers are in a Creole mix. If there's even one whole pepper, there isn't, because I've actually looked at it, but I don't know because I buy the Creole mix. And in this case, it doesn't matter because peppers, onions are very, very low in carbs. We have to make this really easy, guys, so that you'll do it, so that we all stick to it. Because otherwise, if it's hard, no one's gonna do it. If we're starving, no one's gonna do it. We'll fail. So we wanna have lots of options, lots of choices, make it fun to cook. I mean, I happen to love to cook, but I don't wanna cook every day. Sometimes I don't wanna cook every day. That's why I double batch this soup that that I'm about to show you. I made a double batch so that I would have soup tonight, and my husband took soup to work. He loved it. He's kind of following along a low carb. He tries. Let's go ahead and get started with some low carb chicken noodle soup. So the ingredients we need for our low carb chicken soup is the Creole mix. You guys know how I love this. This is red and green peppers, celery, and parsley. We need carrots and chicken broth. I use the low sodium chicken broth. We need some chicken, and I've just shredded it. We need some green onion, as well as some sour cream and some butter. And we also need spaghetti squash, which I've already put in the oven, and I'm just gonna cook that until it's tender, and then I will show you what I will do with that. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna put about, I'm doubling this recipe. My husband and I love this, so we're gonna double the recipe. So we're gonna put a cup and a half of the Creole mix. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just chop our carrots, and I want them about this size. The spices we're using are Italian seasoning, and salt, and pepper. And all we're doing is getting the Creole mix a little bit tender. Then we're gonna add in the chicken. We're gonna add in the chicken broth. And then I just turn this on medium low. Cover and let simmer until the carrots are tender.
Once the spaghetti squash is done, just cut it in half, and then you're going to go ahead and use a fork just to get the seeds out. This is an optional. You can certainly do this soup without the spaghetti squash, and it would just be chicken soup, which is amazing. If you want a little more substance and it to be a little more similar to chicken noodle soup, then we're going to go ahead and add the spaghetti squash as I did with this recipe. Once the seeds are out, just take a fork and run it through the spaghetti squash, and you'll get your spaghetti noodles. Then just add the spaghetti squash to the chicken noodle soup and give it a stir. Once everything's combined, go ahead and add the heavy cream. Give it a stir, and then we're going to chop up some scallions and add them to the chicken noodle soup. Season with salt, pepper, and a little Italian seasoning, and let simmer for about 10-15 minutes, and there you have it, your low-carb version of chicken noodle soup.
I hope you enjoyed the chicken noodle soup recipe, and if you want to cut down on the carbs with this particular recipe, not that there's a whole lot of them in there, use less carrots, cut them into smaller pieces so it feels like there's more of them. And if you want to do it without the spaghetti squash, which I've actually made this recipe twice this weekend, loved it so much. The first time I actually did it without the spaghetti squash, and it was delicious. I just wanted to try it with the noodles, the mock noodles, and see how, how that tasted. Both are excellent. I'll go ahead and do the best I can at breaking everything down, so just look in that description box for the recipe. If you are subscribed to my channel, I just want to, as always, say thank you so very much. It means the world to me. And if you are yet, I don't know why I have such trouble saying that sentence. If you are not yet subscribed and these videos are of interest to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I will talk to you guys next week with another recipe. You guys have a great day. Bye.